Gold Rush, Whitewater exclusive. Flood Gold and Huge Nuggets have Dustin's team pumped up Discovery's hit series Gold Rush. Whitewater is finally back, and we have missed the icy plunge pools of gold, as Dakota Fred is still shaming men half his age with his stamina and overall fitness, and his son Dustin is hot on a streak of finding big chunks of gold in the bottom of a raging creek that can sweep you off your feet. But we learned that Fred is hanging back home in Oregon in the beginning thanks to COVID, as his concerns are about staying healthy. TV show's Ace has the exclusive clip from Gold Rush. Whitewater premiering tomorrow on Discovery Channel. It's more exciting than ever. It shows how James, who is part of the crew that includes James Ham, Carlos Miner, Wes Richardson, and Dustin Hurt, has discovered flood gold, which is hidden in crevices and smaller pools above the rapids. A late start to the season shortens the Dakota boys' mining window, and with record snowfall, the crew faces the most dangerous conditions ever. Dustin Hurt picks up right where he left off at Rockfall Ravine, while Fred's future diving for gold lies in the balance. There has been mining for 120+ years in Haines, Alaska, and Dustin is into his 6th year of actual mining in the water. He wants the big gold, and Dustin believes he is on the edge of a huge windfall and wants to rake it in. They try a new tactic with explosives, as Hurt describes the new techniques as game-changing in the extended trailer. The men set off explosives underwater as the boulders split and reveal quarter-sized nuggets. Half-ounce nuggets everywhere, according to a hopeful Dustin. But after a pandemic has shut down the world, they have no time to spare. Father and son are both hunting for gold. Dustin says it may be Fred's last season up at the creek site in Haines, Alaska. For 5 seasons, the Chilkat Mountains have seen both Fred and Dustin, but this season Fred is delayed. The crew has less than 100 days to work. Dustin reunites the band, Wes Richardson, Carlos Miner, and Paul Richardson, plus James Ham. There is a gold vein that has over time deposited the gold in plunge pools, as last season at McKinley Falls, Dustin reaped huge gold nuggets. They even found a 1-ounce nugget. He believes they can beat last year. Fred Hurt is now 76 years old, and he is cautious about COVID. Fred hangs back in Oregon in the beginning of this season. He knows that he's in the danger zone for the virus. Tune in this Friday to see how big the gold is coming up from the rocks below the freezing rapids. April Neal is an entertainment writer and television critic. Neal is a member of the Television Critics Association, TCA, the Alliance of Women Film Journalists, AWFJ, Hollywood Critics Association, HCA, Gay and Lesbian Entertainment Critics Association, GALECA, and Critics' Choice Awards, Film and Television, CCA. Neal writes for the Idaho Press Tribune, Idaho Magazine, Boys Weekly, MSN, Yahoo, and other entertainment sites. Gold Rush, Whitewater exclusive, Flood Gold, and Huge Nuggets have Dustin's team pumped UPI's winter blankets the mountains, the stakes for the crew of Gold Rush. Whitewater couldn't be higher. For Dustin Hurt and his team, the search for treasure isn't just a matter of history. It's a mission to unearth life-changing wealth hidden deep within the Alaskan wilderness. With the 2024 season in full swing, their optimism is riding high as they dive into uncharted territory, armed with new techniques, upgraded equipment, and an unshakable determination. The phrase "flood gold" is echoing through the team's camp, and for good reason. The combination of a record-breaking flood season and a lucky streak has led to some of the biggest finds in the show's history. But the risks are greater than ever, and each nugget pulled from the raging waters could make or break their season. A new season, a new challenging 2024 season of gold rush. Whitewater began with an unexpected twist. Heavy rains throughout the region led to flooding along the creeks and riverbanks. Normally, flooding would pose a risk to mining operations, washing away equipment and making the terrain impassable. However, for seasoned miners like Dustin, flooding can have an entirely different consequence: the movement of gold. Flooding shifts the river, exposing new pockets of gold that were once buried beneath years of sediment. As the water carries debris downstream, large nuggets and flakes of gold often become dislodged and are deposited in new locations. This phenomenon is known as flood gold, and it has Dustin's team more excited than ever. Dustin, a seasoned miner with a background in heavy equipment operation, knows the value of these floods. He's been chasing gold in the rivers and streams of Alaska for years, and the promise of flood gold is a tantalizing one. Flood gold's not something you find every season, he says, his voice filled with anticipation. Like this, we get the opportunity to find nuggets we wouldn't have been able to get otherwise. It's like the river's giving up its secrets. The search for huge nuggets this season. Dustin's team is on a mission to find the biggest gold nuggets they've ever encountered. While the small flakes and grains of gold are always a welcome sight, it's the huge nuggets that everyone dreams of. These massive pieces of gold can weigh ounces or even pounds, and they're worth a small fortune. As the team digs into the newly exposed floodplain, they're not just looking for dust. They're hoping to uncover huge nuggets that have been hidden for decades, if not centuries. With the floodwaters having moved so much of the ground, it's a race against time to get to the gold before the river shifts again, potentially hiding everything once more. For many of Dustin's crew, the allure of massive gold nuggets isn't just about the money. For them, it's about proving they have what it takes to make it in one of the world's most unforgiving environments. It's about more than just hitting it big, says Kayla, one of the miners on Dustin's crew. It's about the thrill of the chase. The gold is out there, and we just have to find it. And find it they do. The crew has already begun uncovering significant finds. Gold nuggets that are so big they're almost unbelievable. The excitement is palpable as Dustin holds up one of these treasures, the nugget glinting in the sunlight. "This is what we came for," he says with a grin. "This is the gold we've been dreaming about." The flood gold frenzy as the crew sifts through the river. Each scoop of material feels like a step closer to striking it rich. With the floodwaters having altered the landscape, new gold-bearing material has surfaced. But the clock is ticking, and the pressure is on to process as much material as possible before the river stabilizes and the flood gold is washed downstream, never to be seen again. The team works tirelessly to capitalize on this unique opportunity, moving rapidly to clean out the richest parts of the floodplain. They know that every day counts and that they may never have another chance like this. Flood gold is fleeting, Dustin explains. If we don't move fast enough, it's gone. We've got to stay ahead of the river, keep the equipment running, and keep our eyes open for the big nuggets. But even with all the excitement surrounding the potential for huge finds, the crew is well aware that the flooding brings with it serious risks. As they scramble to process the gold, the shifting waters make for dangerous conditions. Mudslides, swift currents, and unexpected drops in the river are constant threats. It's a real balancing act, says Dustin. We've got to move fast, but we also have to be smart about it. One wrong move, and it could be game over. It's not just about the gold. It's about making sure everyone stays safe. Equipment upgrades and some impressive new equipment. Dustin's team has upgraded their dredges and pumps, allowing them to extract gold more efficiently than ever before. The new gear is a game changer, allowing them to process more material in less time and extract gold from places they couldn't reach before. "We've invested a lot in these new machines," says Dustin. "They're stronger, faster, and more efficient. If we're going to take full advantage of this flooding, we need to make sure we're ready for anything." The upgraded equipment has allowed the team to mine in previously impossible locations, reaching deeper parts of the river and capturing even more gold. But while the technology is a huge advantage, Dustin knows that the heart of any mining operation lies in the skill and grit of the team. "We could have all the best equipment in the world, but it wouldn't matter if we didn't have the right crew," he says. "Everyone here has the experience and drive to make this season count. We're not just here for the gold. We're here to make history." The road ahead, with the floodwaters still receding, Dustin's team is pushing forward, eager to capitalize on every opportunity the river has to offer. They know that they're in a race against time, with the potential for gold unlike anything they've ever seen. Each scoop of material holds the promise of another nugget, and with every success, the team grows more motivated. For Dustin, the 2024 season represents more than just a chance to strike it rich. It's about proving that with the right attitude, the right crew, and the right strategy, anything is possible. And with flood gold and massive nuggets just waiting to be unearthed, the team's excitement is palpable. The dream of finding massive amounts of gold, of having their hard work pay off, has never been more real. With the river's unpredictable flow and the excitement of uncovering the riches hidden beneath, Gold Rush, Whitewater is on the verge of one of its most exhilarating seasons yet. For Dustin and his crew, the flood is